Hey y'all, welcome once again to No Bullshit Reviews. Today, I'm going to talk about American Sniper. Now, I may be getting into the controversy surrounding Chris Kyle, but I doubt it. Hell, I pre-write these, I know I'm not gonna. I'm just going to review the film as a film. Politics of the war be damned. I'm going to review it as if it's a completely fictional story, which, by some accounts, it might be. The film details the autobiography of Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, the deadliest sniper in military history, at least American military history. He has nothing on SEMO, hi-ha. Here's some things. Number one, from an authenticity standpoint, in terms of pure fidelity, besides the baby, it feels real. The tactics, the look, the sound, it feels like Clint Eastwood put a lot of work into making sure this movie was as realistic as possible, again, except for the baby. There's some really good gunfights, though, with rifles set to semi and suppressing fire used realistically. Clint paid very close attention to detail, with prop weapons mirroring to the decals what Chris Kyle actually used, down to a sidearm that was never even used. Or two, rather. Kyle's TRP is just a holster stuffer for his first tour, before being replaced with a SIG, which is also another holster stuffer. Never used. Number two, Bradley Cooper's performance was really good. He put a ton of effort into muscling up, and his portrayal of Kyle as a tormented adrenaline junkie who can't choose between his home life and his brothers in the sandbox comes across as a really good performance. Now, Kyle wasn't the most PC guy. Most military men aren't. You kind of have to dehumanize the opposition as a fighting man. To take the life of another human being is massively fucked up, and a ton of soldiers have to compartmentalize it by dehumanizing the Iraqis in general. But, when that's the source material you have to work with, that's what you have to work with. Number three, Sienna Miller's performance was completely wasted. I don't know what ended up on the cutting room floor, but I personally never really connected with her character, and I don't think that was on purpose. I know the purpose of her character to the story, but she wasn't in it enough for me to connect to. It's a difficult thing to do as a writer, I know, because her character is towing the line between essential and useless. In all honesty, I felt this movie is more about Kyle's affinity for his fellow vets, and she kind of gets pushed to the side, which I do feel was a point of the movie, but I don't think it was handled properly. Of course, this is just my opinion. Basically, her performance was great, but her character was handled poorly. Number four, in regards to the pacing, I kind of dealt with this in point three, but as I said, the movie's message kind of gets lost, trying to decide whether it wants to portray Kyle as giving up the sandbox for his civilian family or for his veteran family. It kind of just feels a little muddled that way. Number five, the portrayal of Kyle's obvious PTSD was, in my opinion, handled very well. In the fact that Chris Kyle did not handle it very well until basically the end, continually denying it and refusing to seek help, which is sadly very realistic to most veterans. There's one shot in particular I really liked where you see him watching war news on the TV, the sounds of an intense battle in the background. Then the camera arcs to show that he's not watching TV. It's a brilliant shot, really. So, overall, I enjoyed American Sniper. I thought it wasn't as brilliant as a lot of people thought, but I also thought it wasn't as awful as a few people thought. I don't think it portrayed Iraqis as horrible as a whole, nor did it portray Kyle in the most heroic light the whole time. He's definitely flawed, but who isn't? What I'll say about the politics of it is that people are all individuals, with their own foibles and problems and good points and bad points, and this movie touches on both good points and bad points. So, if you're looking for a decent enough war flick, you might want to check this one out. Peace, dogsies!